These are 7 crypto lessons that I learned in 2023 that have really changed my life. So let's just recap a little bit about the whole YouTube side of things. YouTube, my YouTube itself has grown 30,000 subscribers in 2023. And actually looking at it, that's slower growth than the year before, but that's not important. What I've noticed in crypto in general, the subscriber rate of channels flows with the market that we're talking about. And this will feed into a lot of what I say at the end of this video as to what we're looking for in 2024. But really, so much has changed for me, creating my own company and building that business. Even though subscribers slowed down in the amount, the business itself grew crazily in this year. So it's been a very successful year. And with success come lessons, because in order to have some success, you have to have some failures. And that's what this is all about. The first lesson I really feel like I learnt this year was about timing in your investments. I'm not telling you what to do. This is all my experience, of course. But I just finally realized this year that you're 99% of the time, you're not too late. One of the big things is that when you're investing into crypto or anything really, you always think there's always FOMO, fear of missing out. And that fear of missing out comes from a point of like, it's not going to come back down again. I'm not going to get a good price ever again. It's never going to be this low. But 99% of the time, the percentage might even be more than that. It is coming back down. It's coming back down to those levels that you can buy in at if you think that's an appropriate level. When you look at the whole scale of a bull run, for example, you see it's basically bear run the whole time. So that means naturally in a bear run or a sideways market, the price will always come back down because you're at the bottom. And bull runs take place over the course of like 3 weeks, especially when you're talking about XRP. It can be 27 days when the whole thing for XRP is over, right? But you spent 4 years waiting for 2 weeks. So if you really, really think about it, it's incredibly unlikely that the price that you're buying your assets at right now won't be revisited. It's incredibly unlikely. And so with that in mind, when you are investing and you do feel that FOMO coming in, just understand the odds are actually in your favor. The price 99% of the time will come back down to hit that buy order. So don't worry so much. Remove that FOMO. Another thing I know everyone is going to relate to, and this is the lesson number 2, is that whenever you have that gut feeling that you should probably take some profits, how often has the price actually come back down after that? I'm going to take a guess, I'm going to hazard a guess, that that's basically what happens every single time. And so what I mean by that is that yes, it's great to have a plan, but also listen to yourself. Because the amount of times this year I've looked at an altcoin, for example, and I've gone, I should buy that. And then I haven't, and I should have paid attention to that, and it skyrocketed. Or the other side of that is that I buy one, it goes up, and then I'm like, feels a bit crazy. It did have a 25% pump today, but I'll hold on for 50%. I'll hold on for that doubling of my money from there. And then what do you know? The next day, that price goes down. Somehow, your chemistry, your biology knows when it's too good. And so I just want to urge people, and I'm urging myself as well, to listen to that feeling just a little bit more in 2024. The third lesson I've learned in 2023 is not to 100% commit to any project, any token, or really anything. We have seen, especially in recent news, this whole Polysign thing. I mean, how secure did Polysign look? I mean, I've been so committed to Polysign. I've used Polysign myself. There's money you spend onboarding to Polysign, and you just commit so far into something for really, we're in the Wild West, so it kind of doesn't make sense to go all in on something, because going all in puts you liable for that risk in this Wild West environment. Now, I know many people kind of look at me and go, he's all in on XRP. Yeah, I'm all in on the belief that XRP has that solution that we need in the world, but not 100% of my portfolio is in XRP, right? Because we never know what happens in the world these days. Like I said with Polysign, with the banks, whatever, they can all go down. That really can happen. I hope we've seen that, right, in this last year. And so considering that is a reality, albeit some of those things are far-fetched and a long shot, You can't hedge 100% in anything. What I will say is though, diversification too broad won't get you anywhere. Unless you're happy to wait as a 20-year-old all the way up until you're 70 to become a millionaire. You have to balance that risk according to how much time you've got left and all the other things you have going on in your life. But for me, that 100% commitment to anything just won't exist in me in 2024. That goes with brands that I work with or companies that I think are doing something really good. They might be doing something really good, but nobody is immune to being taken down. So that's the mentality I want to kind of emphasize for 2024. The fourth thing I've learned in 2024 is something that's more on the business side, right? And I think this probably applies in a general sphere, but it's not necessarily about crypto. But I found that the more I say no to exciting opportunities, the next opportunities that come to my table through my door are even better than the opportunity before. And so it actually has allowed me to put myself into a position of extreme comfortability in saying no. And I've talked about this off camera with people, but there's been quite good chunks of money offered to me that I've just said no to because it would disrupt the reputation or disrupt the business or disrupt the opinion of the viewer on the content. And I've just turned those things down. At the time though, it feels like the worst thing in the world to be saying no to X amount of money. I can't believe I'm saying no to this, but I have to say no because it would destroy my whole business. That's really tough. I can't stress enough. It's really tough to be able to do that. However, every single time I have done that, a better opportunity has arrived weeks after, like straight after. And so I'm getting comfortable with the ability to say no to opportunities, understanding that the universe likes when you're kind of focusing on your own thing, doing your own thing, hustling, working, the opportunities come to you. And the more you say no, the harder they work to get to you, meaning the bigger opportunities get through. And so that's really exciting. I think people can apply that to their life, but certainly from the business perspective and in the creator niche as well. Don't always have to be saying yes. In fact, say no all the time and you'll get better opportunities. It's weird how that works. The fifth lesson that I've learned this year is that everyone has a different work-life balance. We all talk about work-life balance and everyone kind of says, you should have your weekends off or you should do this and do that. But it's interesting because many of those rules that are set in your life are set by others' expectations of you rather than you listening to what you want to do. There's something really interesting about Mr. Beast. I'm sure everyone will know Mr. Beast, but his work-life balance is work, burnout, rest. Work, burnout, rest. A person who goes to a job, their work-life routine is 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. And if you're a small business owner and you own a business that is like customer facing and it relies on footfall, then, your hours might be the weekend, right? So everyone's hours are different, but what's really important is to look at your own work-life balance and make decisions according to that. So my work-life balance, for example, is I'm happy to wake up a little bit later, but I'm also happy to work like all night. There's different ways that I like to work. The way I space out my break patterns should actually be up to me, not up to what other people tell you your work-life balance should be. And so listen out for your own work-life balance, make that balance yourself, because ultimately balance, the word, for you is subjective, it's not objective. So whatever balance means to you, whether that means you work 14 days and then have 2 days off and then another 14 days, that's the balance you want. That is actually a balance and that's your balance and you should just go with that. But with all of that said, lots of people I see right now are just completely focused on crypto and getting all wound up by crypto and waiting on something to happen in crypto for them to make any moves whatsoever. And really that's the thing. That's the thing that gets me, because if you're sat here for kind of 2-3 years and you're thinking, why hasn't anything happened? Could you have done anything in the last 2 to 3 years outside of crypto with that balance? Could you have gone and enjoyed something? Could you have gone on holiday? Could you have learned a new skill? Could you have started a business? Like this, the list of things you could have done in that waiting time is really endless. And it's all about how you have that work-life balance. I'm just very conscious personally that I'm going to die. I'm very conscious of that. I don't know what it is about me, but I've always been conscious of the end. And so I'm also very aware of how little time I've got. So that motivates me to work because I want to make something of myself and do something and have something to show for my life. And so I guess what I'm saying is stop relying on crypto doing something for you. It will, given time. But while you wait, you're either wasting time or you're using that time efficiently and effectively that can benefit your life. And so try to think of ways where you get to a point where you don't even need to worry about crypto. Imagine that. Because you've worked so hard in those 2 or 3 years while you've been waiting, you don't even have to worry about crypto. And at this point, crypto is a bonus. Like, how amazing would that position be? The 6th thing I've learned is very like this channel focused. And it's all about how I communicate with the audience. And how this channel started was really like me talking to you, because everyone that was watching was basically representing my friends that I would have to explain crypto to. So it was just easier to make a YouTube video so that they could all see the same video and then not have to take loads of my time. Obviously, people resonated with that approach, right? I was speaking to my friends. What is really hard is when you make content at this scale all the time about a very niche topic, very small subject, you end up getting to a point where I've got to change the way I do it. I've got to change the way I do things. I've got to think of new ideas. And while those things are really good, what I found I did in 2023 was at times, I certainly wasn't trying to do this, but at times I went from talking to you to talking at you. And that's something that I'm really, really aware of now, that it was highlighted to me and I was like, you're right. That's not my intention at all. I'm not trying to talk at you. I'm trying to talk to you and with you, right? And I'm certainly going to bring that into 2024 where I'm talking to you, not at you in any capacity. Because, you know, I'm just some guy who was filming in his basement, who's continued to do it. And just now I'm filming in like a studio, or actually nothing's really changed here, my daughter's bedroom. So really not that much has changed. But the point is, the feeling of this interaction, this communication between us, is much nicer when I'm talking to you, not at you. So I'm going to leave that one there. And the 7th thing I've learned this year, again, is about the position that I've been in crypto. And it's about being responsible for the influence that I have somehow attained. You know, we've all seen the Spider-Man line, with great power comes great responsibility. It's just such a great line because now that I've seen what it's like for people to recognize me and like know who I am based on this, I've seen how much of an impact that makes on people's lives. And not so much me as any kind of special person. I'm certainly not saying that. It really goes for anyone who creates content at scale. The only reason that, you know, I have this thing called influence is because I've just put enough videos out there in the world to be seen enough times to where enough people just click subscribe. That's really all it is. I'm no different than anyone else, even watching this video. If you made 500 videos, you too would have influence. It's really as simple as that. It's not like I'm special in any way in that capacity. So it seems like it's a fact of life. With power, and I'm obviously replacing power with influence, does come great responsibility, because words I say have weight for no other reason than I've made lots of videos and lots of people watch me, just because of scale and my willingness to put my videos out there. So when it comes to things in crypto and, you know, standing on a hill and dying on a hill based on what I'm saying, or making bold predictions or anything, I don't think that plays a role in 2024 for me. I have seen now, and this is like a bonus thing that I've learned, in New York, I learned that people are nice. Like, the people in the XRP community, the crypto community, are nice people. I met them. I met you in New York. Having learned that, it's certainly a raised fear for me that I would be ridiculed in public. I don't know why that was a fear, but it's only really a fear that you have when you've got people who watch you. But realizing that that's just not the case, and it's actually overwhelmingly positive, that gives me a lot of confidence that anything I try to do in the future is gonna have some momentum behind it and some success, because there are some supporters out there. Now, we've got through the 7 or 8 lessons there that I learned in 2023, but let's look forward to 2024. I'm certainly incredibly excited about 2024. I've got more excitement about what's coming in Q1 of 2024 than I've been excited about anything before on this channel. And I know that people who are watching all the way through to the end of this video right now, you're going to understand what I'm about to say. I was afraid to say this at the beginning, because if I said it at the beginning, the people who were just here for that information will have gone by now, right? I think they won't be here right to the end. But because you're here to the end, you're one of those people that does watch videos to the end, and you're kind of engaged in what I'm doing personally. So 2024 is going to take a very unique position. We have explored XRP basically solid for a year, multiple times a week for a year. And even longer than that, right? We've done crypto for 2 years now on the channel. Crypto plays obviously a massive role in my life and in your life, but it gets to a point where you think, I know what I hold. How much more does my audience need to know about this thing? And, I've observed my audience and seen my audience grow. And while there are some kind of beginners in there, the vast majority of the people in my audience right now, they know what they hold. Like, you know what you hold. You just have to hold on to it and wait for this thing to go, right? As I mentioned earlier in the video, rather than wait for crypto to do its thing, let's not waste the time that we have. And this has been my mentality. This is why, like I said in a video previously, 95% of what I do on a day-to-day basis isn't on the YouTube channel. My business has grown to a point where I can do things like 95% of my work on other things other than the channel, right? I've not just stayed stagnant and completely reliant on YouTube. That was obviously spurred on by me losing the channel a couple of times. But having my focus on these other things, I've got major interest in business. Like, I love building my business and working on it and documenting that journey. And there's also other endeavors that people just won't realize that I like doing, that, I want to create on. When I look at 2024, I see an exponential growth of the business, of the content, of the production value, of the content topics, like what we talk about. It's going to be, I'm trying to make it not too different from 2023. But my aims here for the business and for the channels and all of that kind of stuff is far exceeds what the limitations seem like they are from the outside. So when you look at like Digital Perspective or something, like their channel, 250,000 subscribers, whatever it is, that seems to be the pinnacle of where you can go in the XRP niche. But what if I want 10 million subscribers? Like, what if I want my business to do 20 million in revenue a year? How does that look? Like, what do I do to get there? And so these are the things I'm actively thinking about rather than waiting for the crypto. I know what I hold. You know what you hold. We've educated on XRP and Ripple this entire year. You know what you've got. So let's now move on to the new era. Like the new era, what does that look like? For me, it's not 100% clear, but I do know we're going to target a wider audience. We're going to have different content styles that, appeal to a wider audience. We're going to certainly appeal to our XRP people as the foundation of all of this. But when I'm advancing my business, let's say my business gets to $1 million in revenue a year, I would like a place to come and share that, like how I learned to do that, how it worked, what happened, the story of that. If I can't bring that kind of thing to my own channel, why would I want to keep doing that? And so 2024 will represent all the growth, the building of teams, the building of systems, processes, my investments, my XRP, documentaries, different content styles that you just would not expect from someone in my current situation right now. The aim of that obviously is to do something mega. I don't know how else to explain it. There is something else that's happening. I'm waiting on some contracts being signed before I kind of announce any of that, but it's a direct tangent from crypto content. Anything, even business, is completely different. And I know many of you will support me along that journey as well, but I couldn't be more excited for 2024. It's going to be the year of growth for this business and the audience. And I'm excited, at least for all of those people who are going to join along this journey the whole way, regardless of whether we are like reviewing a document from the Bank of International Settlements or we're doing a video that literally no one has ever done in the crypto niche ever before, which that's a little hint. Q1, you're going to see what we're going to be doing. We're going to appeal to a wider audience. Let's bring more people in and we can educate, and the mastermind can be full of even more people that know what they're doing once after their investments kind of come through. It's a fascinating world. 2024 is going to represent all of that, and I'm so excited. Again, if you want to see the little animation below, hit like on this video if you enjoyed it. Make sure you share this video with other people because, You know, I think these longer videos, I've been recording for 27 minutes now. They're good for people to get to know the reality of the situation, right? This is actually who I am. I'm talking to you basically like I would talk to any human. And so, you know, this is a better medium to send people videos like this type of video rather than me sitting down saying, well, Bank of International Settlements has approved Ripple or whatever. It's like so alienating to the majority of people. We want a wider audience here, so share this around. And if you like the plans for the future, then let me know in the comments below. Hit subscribe. And remember, stay emotionless. And I'll see you in the next one.